Hello, it is I, your friendly neighborhood dragon, Diaphyl, and today I'm here with a new video, a new kind of video, rather, that I would like to experiment with, in which I'll talk over and try to explain a match. And see, I've usually recorded highlight clips or just strange clips, but this one is neither of those. This one is honestly a pretty average, low rank set. As you can see, I am just silver, and so is my friend here. Well, he's not my friend, I don't know who this guy is. I've fought him quite a few times, he's given me quite a bit of trouble, so I think he's a good matchup to try and exemplify the kind of thought process that goes into fighting games, even at this level. And the idea of this video is twofold. First of all, I want to look at the things that I've done wrong, so that I can reflect on them and try to do better in the future. That's one of the most important parts of watching your replays. Not just your victories, but also the times where you just completely beef it. And the second part is to give explanations to people who are just getting into fighting games or who may want to get into fighting games, to show how, as a matter of fact, what really matters is oftentimes not doing the flashiest combo. It's not huge executional challenges. It's just moment to moment decision making and trying to outsmart your opponent. That's really what fighting games boil down to. It's about decisions, about reaction, it's about having a game plan. So let's get into it. I may pause it quite a few times because there are quite a few things that I would like to go over at least once, because I will be doing this video assuming the person watching doesn't know that much about fighting games, but are interested in learning. So let's get into it. So this here's my character, Colleen. She has good buttons, good pressure. That there's Ryu. He's Ryu. He has a fireball, has a Shoryuken. Good old Ryu. This guy plays him rather conservatively, which is interesting because a lot of Ryus at this level will play very aggressively. So what I'm doing here is just, what I did there was a bit of a faux pas. I'm sorry about that. In this game, it's customary when your opponent doesn't do anything at the start for you to just throw a few buttons to see if they're actually in. So here I realize that he's away. Don't know if he's disconnected or if he's just literally away from his controller, so I'm just gonna chill here, throw some buttons to get his attention, and he's back, so now we can begin the match. And right off the bat, he's gonna want to back away and throw fireballs, and then advance when I'm least expecting it. Very important thing he just did, he teched that throw. You're thinking, wow, it's whatever. In this level, people either tech too much or tech too little. It's something I struggle myself. I tech way too little. I almost never tech the throw because it's a risk. If you read a throw and the opponent throws a big button, you eat way more damage than you would take from the throw itself. But here I've immediately picked up he likes to tech, so I can incorporate that. Then he throws more, and here he anti-airs me. Let me talk about this jump. If you're a really good player, you're thinking, why the hell did I just do a random jump there? If you're a really bad player, you might think, wow, he actually anti-aired that? I'm straight in the middle of those. The reason I did that is because I am silver. This is technically the top 10% of players because there are currently like 2 million players or so in ranked. So let's talk about anti-airing. It's one of the most important fundamentals, especially in a game like Street Fighter V where jumps are committal. You cannot block in the air. There are moves that change your air momentum, but those are a read in their own. They're typically a gamble. So you would think anti-airing is an extremely important thing to do, and you would be correct. At the rank that I'm at, I did that jump literally just to check if he actually knew how to anti-air, because so many people don't know how to anti-air. This is not bronze. Bronze is the very basic, like, beginner tier. In that rank, people who typically don't know how to anti-air. It takes super silver for people to start being able to actually consistently anti-airing, like this guy just did. It's something that even I won't say I can anti-air 100% of the time because nobody is like perfect on that. The whole point is to use the ground game to trick your opponent into whiffing their anti-air or expecting a jump. So also Colleen has some air angles where she struggles a lot, but generally speaking, I did that just to check if he was actually one of the people in this rank who does know how to do that. And on that note, let me just say, if you want to get into Street Fighter V specifically, if you're going to get to where I'm at, All you need to do, literally all you need to do is anti-air and a poke. That's something Sagejam says a lot, and that's something that's absolutely true. Everything else is just stuff you want to learn on your own, but the bare minimum necessary, all you need, strictly speaking, is a poke to make the opponent want to jump, and an anti-air to make the opponent sad for jumping. That will get you through bronze and into silver. And silver is not a particularly high rank, but it's where people start to actually understand how their character works and implement more mind games and not just kind of press buttons willy-nilly and hope something works. Which you will see a bit of it still in this match, I will admit. I'm not perfect, neither is this guy. We're not like super diamond players, we're not warlords. So there's a bit of prodding, but there is also a lot of intentionality, which I think is very interesting to comment on. So without any further delay, he's once again zoning me out. Check him, make sure. So what I just did there, this little bitty combo here, I just went from a pause to another pause. Yeah, this one's also worth noting, cross up. Cross up is where the opponent jumps in a way that's ambiguous which way you gotta block. I checked him with the jab there and I got thrown after. Colleen struggles a bit with that. Or at least I struggle a bit with that. You have to position yourself carefully to make sure her entire doesn't whiff. And then this happens. Never mind. I beefed it. This is the one. This is minus on block, it's -4, which means he has buttons that are 3 frames and 4 frames. On paper, if I space that poorly, he can punish it. At my level, most people don't. But in high level, you won't see Colleen players do this thing a lot on block. I do it because it's autopilot, and it's a bad thing, and I should stop doing it. But my hope is to catch him with the frame trap, and that's a bit it's a huge commitment for just a frame trap. -4 is not great, but most people will not punish it at this level. I think he may be able to punish it with a light kick, but I honestly do not know because I have yet to be punished by anybody other than like Akuma, who has a 3-frame DP he could just throw out there. So here, yeah, goes unpunished, and then he crosses up, and I check with a jab. Not a great tool because I could have got counter hit for a full combo there if I did my jab like a second too late, but it was a trade, but just about the same damage for both of us. That he throws me anyways, so I'm an idiot, but otherwise, you know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And here I finally land a full combo. What I did there was expecting him to attack the throw, and he didn't attack the throw. And then he attacks the throw again, so yeah. Testing him, seeing how he reacts to my pressure. Once again minus, but this time I block the cross up and just let him do what he wants. He doesn't know how to punish that, so I can basically abuse it. Abuse it is a strong word because I lose my turn. So here's I2R bad for me. Now, my V skill, what I'm doing here is I'm fishing for a counter hit, because if I can counter hit him with that punch, it's going to crush counter, he's going to fly away and on the ground, and I can finish my combo, but then this happens. Crush counter, he flies away off the ground, and that means I can no longer combo him, and that was very unlucky for me. He was probably jumping with something there. And then I beef my meaty. Here, this attack, supposed to hit him exactly as he hits the ground, so he has to block it. But I did it too early, he doesn't block it, and he just throws me. So, very bad luck. And now that he has V skill, he can just throw his fireballs much faster, and I just have to deal with it. And just like that, I stop blocking for 1 second to inch closer, and I pass away. That's round. It's just like that. Then round 2, I once again inching closer, prodding him, seeing what he does. And he parries my cross up. This is a very smart thing that he just did there. A bit of a risky one if I did an empty jump. But he had the read, and it turned out to be correct. This is a cross up. Look how ambiguous this is. He doesn't know if it's left or right. Even I'm not sure if it's left or right. But Barry doesn't care. Barry doesn't care in this game. His V skill specifically just doesn't give a shit. Parries and hits me out of it. Good on him. Then I check him because I figured he would go for a throw. But I didn't convert into a combo because I'm not good at those. I'm very bad at hit confirming. And there, that's what I like to call a chimp out. That's just pure spaghetti, what just happened. My intent with the icicle jump was to bait his DP. And I got it, you know. I jumped, he DP'd. I'm like, slick, I'm gonna hit him. But I'm too far away. He DPs again. Nothing about this exchange was intelligent by either of our parts. I did a super risky bait. He did a very risky bite into that bait. And then both of us just doubled down on the risk, and he came out on top. Because if I, instead of going for a desperate, like, autocorrect on that end, and he had done the DP, then I would have had a free combo. He was wide open. But instead, he knew that I was going to try and punish that DP even though I was way too far away. And it happened. So, stupidity from both our parts, to be honest. We should have just blocked and chilled there, but worked out for him, so good on him. And here I walk back and punish him with a denti stab. Once again, pressure, unsafe, but he doesn't even know that. And there is why I'm worried about the cross-up. Because my anti-air has this awkward diagonal angle. It misses way more often than it feels like it should. I'm very bad at controlling the time. Right here. This is sadness. This is pure crippling depression right here. This move is supposed to knock him out of the air, but he's over me, so it doesn't matter. He whiffs, but then he throws me anyways, because he loves that throw. Good on him. I'm not good at dealing with throw, as you can see. I take a lot of throws. Takes my throw there, and then gets hit for it, because I read that he was going to backdash. Here's a reset. In this situation, I'm super plus. Whatever I do here, he in theory has to respect it. What most people do in this situation on paper is to do an EX reversal, right? So I do parry. 90% of the time I do this, they just block. So I parry into nothing, lose my turn, they get a punish. So I think, this guy likes to throw a lot. So he's not one for blocking. He's either gonna throw or he's gonna block. In either case, I shouldn't parry, I should go with a hit. Reversal. I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. My brain doesn't have enough rugs. My brain is very smooth. In the one situation where I thought he wasn't going to do that, he did that. It made me sad, but, you know, good on him. So here we're just trading blows, not doing anything too committal. Whiff punish, saw him whiff that and went for the fast reaching move. Here is the whiff that I actually wanted to do. After the crush counter, I could have gone a big combo, but I was honestly not sure if it was actually going to reach once again, because I got more reach from my V-trigger, but I was scared, and I didn't want to get the same situation with the DPs. So I went with a combo finisher that does way less damage, but all things considered, you know, getting some damage off is better than just completely dropping it and losing everything. Here I throw him. And this here was a huge gamble that I shouldn't have done, but it worked out. Mistakes into miracles. Let's talk about what I just did here. He wakes up, I'm meaty with a fierce. This is called a fierce, it's a heavy punch. I did this because I was expecting him to block so that I could link into super, which may or may not have chipped him out. Looking at his health now in retrospect, it probably wouldn't have chipped him out. So if he blocked here, I would have sent all of my meter, would have lost all of this, and it would have been wide open and he could finish me with a single hit. But instead, he did something stupid. He didn't block, he pressed the button. He didn't have any meter for a reversal, so I have no clue what exactly he did there. He just went swinging for the fences, and that was a mistake into a miracle. And I won because of that. Could have wasted everything I had there. So, yeah, not a smart move because I miscalculated how much damage I was going to do, but worked out just like that. Then round 3. Once again, we're just testing each other. Could have gotten a jump in there, but I completely missed the timing. Misinterpreted what he was going to do. Once again, couldn't anti-air. Another parry, but this time I can block in time. More zoning, bait, but this time neither of us bite because, you know, dangerous. I'm just fishing for the lows to try and catch him walking. Poke him into either standing still or coming into me because he's just trying to walk away, and walking away can be risky. My character is not great at catching that, but some characters can just hit confirm that low into something much bigger. My character just pokes low, typically. Unless I want to, like, commit to something big. There I anti-air him with the jab, cross under, and then drop the combo, which sucks. That was very punishable, but he didn't know. And to be honest, that was like spaghetti from both of us. Colleen has trouble with fireballs a little bit. Kinda has to chill, wait for a chance to get in. A lot of characters have tools to just ignore fireballs, but she has to respect them until she gets V-trigger. And here is another situation where it was either really smart or really stupid. Let me talk about this situation that we found ourselves in. I dash into his activation. Right here, I actually honestly have no clue which one of us could act first. If he can act first, then I can't do anything other than something super committal like a super here, and I'm going to get hit. Because dash means I'm in movement, I can't block. But I also don't know, since I also don't know, I may or may not swing. I may just wait for him to swing. because this activation that he's doing is also unsafe. So if my dash finishes before his animation does, then he's wide open, and I can swing, and I can probably just link into super, and he may or may not lose like this much health. So what does he do? Mashes throw, because he knew I was going to block, or he was gambling on a block. Once again, I don't know if he thought that far ahead, or if he was just like, oh shit, she's close, I gotta press throw. But well, worked out for him, and that's something I gotta keep in mind in the future. It's also possible that he thought I was gonna throw, and I didn't throw. Anyways, here I can do this, and since she was doing fireball, as I said, she worries about fireball until she has V-trigger, because now I can do this. Boom, right through. And there, I made him tech the throw, shimmy. Another important part of Street Fighter V. I noticed that he's really, really fond of teching throws. He doesn't want to take the throw, he wants to throw me. So I walk very slightly in front of him, just above throw range, walk right back. His instinct is to press throw. He throws the air, I hit him. I completely dropped my combo there. That was not supposed to be the ender. I could have killed him with super, but, you know, my execution is not there. I'm working on it. I'm still a newbie. Just to once again reiterate that this is not a super high level match. Both of us are effectively still just learning the game. Once again, more pressure. Gets a lucky jump in. Completely fuck up that anti-air. And he does not learn his lesson. He keeps throwing fireballs even though I can just dash right through him. So that was the game 1 on a set of 3. Sorry if I'm pausing too much. There's just a lot that I love to talk about. And once again, I am assuming that you're watching this because you will have some interest in learning fighting games or understanding the mentality behind actions, which I personally find to be the most fascinating part of it. And then we move on to game 2, right about here, I think. This will do. So game 2, we already have the experience from game 1 going forward, so I already more or less understand what he wants, and he more or less understands what I want. So there, I try to go for a parry, didn't work. I stopped the startup from his fireball. That is one of Colleen's best anti-fireball options, hitting people in the startup. But he's making sure that I'm not in range to do that. See, he's walking back and forth. He's baiting me to do something stupid. Just like that. I dashed in into his sweep. It was a good play from him. So, let's talk about this sequence. I take throws a lot. In Street Fighter V, there's a classic adage, take the throw. Because if you try to take the throw, as I just showed, and they swing with the button, you are in trouble. So here, takes the throw, sweeps me, one hit, throw, take throw. Smart. Then once again, flips me with a low, dash in, take throw. Right here I'm thinking, this guy's an asshole. He's gonna take throw me again, or he's gonna expect me to tech and crush counter me. So what do? Parry. Down he goes. And then he EX reversals. I had a hunch he would do that. This happens to me a lot. You know, the psychic DP, something that happens a lot, the hindsight DP. Mine is the opposite. I have this sinking feeling at the pit of my stomach that the opponent's about to DP, and I'm like, nah, there's no way he would actually use the meter right here, right now in this situation. Then I get hit like an idiot. Just like that. I walk into his move. Here I can finally activate. Put some pressure on him. And here, I just kill myself. You know? That also happens. Gotta admit, shameful, but, you know, it's life, man. This happens to everybody. I'm thinking I got all these resources, all of this going on. He's got this much life lead. I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna fish for a crush counter. I'm gonna smush him. I'm gonna hit him with one crush counter. He's gonna fucking explode. He just mashed his jab. I walk into it and I die. It's the end of my story of the match. Of the end of the round. Then round 2. He's neutral jumping a lot because he's expecting me to dash. And to be fair, I am dashing forward a lot because in this matchup, I have to approach. He's the one who's going to be zoning me out, and I just have to find a way in and keep myself in. Which is not something I'm comfortable doing, but it's an important thing to do. There, I did throw his parry. Was that a read? Hell no. I just wanted him to block, and then I was going to throw. He parried, which turned out to be worse for him, because if he had pressed the button afterwards, he would have got me, but he was probably expecting another hit. So that's why he didn't tech. Oh. And then again, another risky hard read there. After this, I was expecting him to wake up with a button because of my distance, so I threw my counter. This is our V skill. If he throws a button, it does another animation, does more damage. He parried it, but he parried it way too late. So I got hit anyway. So this was a super stupid gamble on both our parts, and I came out on top. Just like this happens, man. Then I get thrown by the fireballs. Happens. Catches me with the cross up. Just zoning me out. Finally get a good hit. Could have gone into super, but I decided to just go for the corner carry because look, now he's cornered. Colleen just does that. And now I hear do stuff, stupid stuff, because I'm trying so hard to catch the startup of his fireballs with my invulnerable move, but his fireballs are extremely fast when he has V-trigger. And the startup from my fireball invul move is actually a little bit slow. I think it's like 10 frames before I can actually go through the fireball itself, so I keep getting clipped out of it. I finally get one. Here I'm just, you know, trying to chip him out pretty much. Get him low enough that I can just clip him with something. Not taking any risks. We're both big chilling. And he catches me with the random jump. I wasn't expecting that jump. If he had actually successfully finished this combo, I was dead. So that was an interesting thing that he just did. And then he dropped it. And he died. Just like that. So here's the thing. I do not want to say with this that execution is that big of a deal or that you must have every combo by heart. That's not what I mean. Matter of fact, the problem was the situation that we were both this low. If he had more health, this drop wouldn't have mattered. So yeah, if you're in a clutch situation, don't drop your combo. You're gonna see, there are more examples in this match. I will do something very similar, very depressing. Because in the heat of the moment, what you don't want to do, let me explain something about my understanding of fighting games. There's a lot of gambling involved, if you think about it. There's a lot of guessing, lots of rock, paper, scissors. But what really sets skilled players apart is placing themselves in situations where they don't have to gamble. The least guesses you have to make, the lesser the chances are that you're going to guess wrong. It's simple as that. You can't never not guess. There's simply, not that I know of, any way to play a fighting game without taking any risks whatsoever. There's always going to be something you have to do, some amount of risk. You gotta minimize your risk and you gotta place yourself in favorable situations where the opponent has to guess more than you do. So here I successfully anti-air him. We're both prodding each other, he's zoning, he's dashing back and forth, trying to you know, stay light on his feet. Another parry. Here we are playing good old footsies, trying to catch each other with stretched limbs. And I am once again baiting his DP, and I get him. And corner carry. Right here, I choose to do the Zakizemi option. He has to respect this, but this is not super good because look how far I am. He has no reason to not block this. There's nothing I can do to make him stop blocking this. The only reason I do this sometimes is because I'm reading that they're gonna jump because they don't want to be in a corner. But this guy is smarter than that. He's conservative. He's like, you know what? Just gonna chill here. He blocks it. I get close, but what the fuck ever. I could have just dashed, got him with an overhead, and he clipped me with the cross up. This situation, I'm stupid. The biggest, dumbest human being alive. It's very smooth-brained. Let's look at what happened here. He does a safe neutral jump. I believe this is safe because if I went, I would have to go for a very, very preemptive anti-air here to catch him. After the situation, a lot of people will either go for a throw or for a tick throw. They just want to apply more pressure immediately. But he realizes that because my anti-air is a little bit on the slow and angular side, I can't throw it willy-nilly because if he decides to cross me up here, I'm not going to be able to stop him. So I think, well, he's definitely going to either try to tick throw me or just continue his pressure. So I parry. What does he do? Another jump. Brain dead. We're both brain dead. I just went for the super like galaxy brain read for no good reason, and he was just like, well, I'm just gonna jump again. Fuck it, you know, I don't want to be in the ground. I don't like your character in the ground. And I get hit for it. Could have done a full combo there, but he was probably expecting me to block it. And this is the saddest interaction of my life. It's one of the saddest things that has ever happened to me. Let's review this once again. We switch places. He throws me forward. I'm out of the corner. I expect him to either melee or throw a fireball. He jumps. This is not too bad because what What this does, I can hang back and go forward, I think. I'm gonna anti-air him with this. I press it too early. Look at how fucking fast I went from here to here. I landed right into his cross-up range, and I'm dead. Just like that. I made so many wrong decisions in such a smart amount of time. It cost me the game. Fucking depressing, but you know, you live and you learn. I have a bad habit of relying too much on that. A lot of players are smart enough to either bait it out or do what he just did and just get lucky with the jump angle. I'm honestly not sure if that was a read or if he was just like, I'm gonna jump. Either way it worked out, so I cannot blame him, cannot complain, you know. The onus of losing is on me. It is my responsibility to win. It's not his responsibility to lose. So, at the end of the day, I will never blame an opponent for beating me. I blame myself for not being able to stop them from doing that. And then final game of the set, game 3. By this point, it's going to get very weird and it's going to get very mental because we both have a rough idea of how our game plans are like. So we're starting to show more adaptation. I know he's going to want to throw fireballs and get to me up close, and he knows that I'm going to want to jump at him and generally try to apply pressure until he presses something. So here I lucky jump in, but I do not consider the combo because I was honestly not expecting that to land. Here he drops his own combo, so it's all good. Once again, probably a misinput. Not supposed to do that. And then the crush counter, but outside of V-trigger, that crush counter doesn't lead to a lot. It's really just more pressure. He throws me again. I eat those throws, man. I don't care. I just take them. I will only tag if it's super obvious it's gonna be a throw. Here I go through his fireball. And just prodding him, you know, waiting to see what he does. Dash into him. Anti-air. Stop the jump, stop the jump. Don't know what he wanted to do there. Just jump 3 times in a row. Sometimes it'd be like that. Just keep jumping. Sometimes it's gonna work. And now this is dangerous for me because look how fast his fireballs are. If he fully charges them, they're unblockable, by the way. That's the gamble in this situation. If I block too many of these, I'm gonna inevitably take damage. Here we're both once again prodding. Just big chillin'. Trying to get a read on each other. And frame trapped. The move that I just did here, this little baby, the crouching medium kick, just here, +1. That means I can act before he does. So I figure he's gonna press a button here. I just press something faster. Dead. Very simple thing, very basic way to open people up in fighting games. Press something that looks like it's their turn, but it's not. My turn. He whiff punishes me, good job. We're both trying to whiff punish each other. Just throwing buttons in front. It was a bad autopilot. That he wasn't ready. Once again, I autopilot a bit hard sometimes because I just want to apply that pressure. He's completely zoning me out. I'm unable to get in, do anything meaningful. Now I got V-trigger. Let's see what that changes. Not a lot, huh? Just getting washed this round. So, finally I fish for the crush counter. I get him. This is it. This is the moment. I got the crush counter that I needed. If I combo into super, he's gonna be dropped down to like here, so we're both much more equal. You know, much easier for me to make up the difference. And I've practiced this combo a lot, so let's go. Huh? Where's the next hit? Well, first of all, smooth brain. I'm an idiot. Second of all, why exactly am I a smooth brain in drop that combo? Because Colleen has 2 V skills. The very end of that combo, for me to link into super, one version I can do the V skill, the other I end with the punch. In that very split second, I didn't really know which one I should end with. And most importantly, I also ran out of the V skill itself. So, or rather, of the V trigger. So I honestly don't even know if I could have. But in this split moment, it's like just a tiny little bit of a fraction of a second. I was unsure which button I should be pressing here because I'm not smart and I was not fully prepared for the situation. So I dropped my one chance to make a significant comeback. And then I did that just random Hail Mary and I get caught by the cross-up and I die. Just like that. Dropped a combo, cost me the game. So once again, just like he did that one time, the problem was with the situation. Look how much health I had, look how much health he had. If the situations were inversed, it would not have mattered if I dropped that combo. He would be dead anyways. So once again, never operate under the sentiment that combos are the most important thing, that optimizing damage is something you gotta learn right off the bat. It's really not. They matter in clutch situations, obviously. There are many situations where your ability to do damage will be the difference. But if you play solid enough, if you focus enough on your fundamentals, you will not be in the situation. Because look how he killed me. It was 2 hits. It was just a lucky cross up and a jab. Just checked me. Just like that. The final game, final round. We're both reaching maximum spaghetti. Both trying to outsmart each other, playing 5D chess. I empty jump into his throw because I'm smart. Checking him with buttons, making sure he doesn't get to do what he wants for free. Now let's look at what happens really soon here. So, 1, 2, 3, and hit. So what I did there, I like to call the insanity mix-up. It's some kind of demon, some kind of ghoul, like a funny little ghoul creature that invades fighting game players. And trust me, I've seen mid to high level players actually do this kind of shit. I don't know what gets over people players. I don't even know what got over myself. In the lapse of judgment, in that one moment, you're like, you know what? If I do the exact same thing, he's not gonna expect that. And that is the dumbest possible logic you can have. Because he just countered the thing that you just did. He knew exactly what to do in this situation. And you're like, yeah, well, if I do it again, he's not gonna know, right? And the logic on that is that he's gonna, your assumption, rather, is that the opponent's gonna expect you to do the same thing and then you do something else. Or rather, it's like you're trying to momentarily condition him to do the same thing so that you can hit him with something slightly different. And that's exactly what I did here, and it actually worked. But never ever do what I did. I know that me saying this is not going to work, and you're probably going to do it anyways, because people are like that. I don't get it, man. You see it in fail compilations and fighting game fail videos all the time. People who will just do like 5 Shoryukens in a row, even if they're blocked. Even every single time they eat a ton of damage, they'll just keep doing it, because deep down in their hearts, they think it's a mix-up. Doing the same thing over and over again is some kind of 200 IQ mind game. It's not. It's being stupid. And it's what I did. And I'm sorry for that, but hey, here we are. And it somehow worked. And then to be honest, this is very suboptimal finish. I should have done the hail into dash, and he could have been into more pressure, but I was just like, I wasn't even expecting this to work. I just autopiloted into this finish. And he sure yunkers me out anyway, so I didn't recover the damage, but listen, free throws, it's bad, but if he had hit me with a proper combo any of those times, I would have taken all the damage anyways. So once again, sometimes you just gotta take the throw. Sometimes you just gotta lay it out, just block. Don't eat obvious throws, but if you're unsure, it's oftentimes worth it to just block and deal with it. And here, what I'm thinking is, he has been attacking a lot this whole round. Every single freaking time I try to take throw him, I try to dash up throw, he's completely ready for my throws. So what should I do? Shimmy. Go into a throw, walk back, boom. Now he has to worry a lot, because I can do that. My range is much higher. I could have finished the game right here. I had all the resources in the game to finish the game, even with a single combo. I didn't even have to spend full meter, but I was honestly just so worried that he wouldn't actually fall for a second shimmy in a row that I just went for a safer finish. Went for a dumb hit confirm. And then this happens. He's gonna try to zone me out a little bit again, but I'm too fast. So right now I'm thinking, he's not gonna attack, so I'm gonna throw. And that was the end of the set. As I've said, a lot of conditioning, a lot of adaptation, just trying to think what your opponent's gonna do next. After taking 2 shimmies in a row and almost dying, he knew that if he tried to attack again and I pressed the button, he was dead. So I figured, I'm gonna check, 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 not cracking, throw. Easy as that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, actually very challenging. Really like fighting this guy. I hope I can fight him more times. Probably gonna kick my ass last time because I did a lot of mistakes. So did he, obviously, because neither of us are particularly that good, but it was a very fascinating set, in my opinion, very fun. And thank you to anybody who has watched this far. I hope this has taught you a thing or two about the thought process that goes into the decision making of fighting games, how moment to moment decisions matter more than just raw knowledge or just having all the combos down pat. knowing your character like the back of your hand, it's good. It's always good to have. On high level, it's a necessity. But if you're just getting into the genre, if you just want to play fun games with your friends, it really doesn't take that much to get you to a level of intentionality where you want to like know exactly what your opponent's doing and how to make him miserable for it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you around.